Well, maybe we can go ahead and get started, and hopefully Ethan will join and just go through the roll call, and hopefully we catch him at the end. That works.
Mhm.
So I Robin, can I get some help? I apologize. Just if you want to do the room, and then we can kind of go around on the phone. Or I guess nobody's in the room. We did this virtually.
And we appreciate that. Me and Rolly definitely appreciate it. As I told them earlier before you got on here, the older I get, the more time zone changes really mess with me. Um, so,
I can go down the list if you want me to, or if you want to just go
Yeah,
around
if you
everyone.
would, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. First on my list is Matt Montgomery,
Matt is here.
John Daughtery,
Here.
Tiffany Reeves,
here.
me, I'm here. Kevin Moore,
Here.
Rolando Thacker,
Here.
Stacy May,
Here.
Colin Mosley,
I am here.
Hannah Gregory,
Here.
Rachel Adams,
Here.
Jennifer Hayes,
I'm here. Thanks.
Todd Blanton,
Here.
David Dutling.
I'm here.
Okay, just double checking. Did I get everyone? If not, speak up. Oh, okay.
All right. So I as we look at this, everything here is something that we need to approve, right? So there isn't any sort of discussion or discussion item that we can wait on.
You're muted.
You're on mute.
Yep.
Tiffany.
We have the open discussion thing, but I don't think there's really a whole lot. I know that earlier this morning, me and Stacy spoke for a few minutes because, like, you're coming off in April. It seems like a far way away, but it's really not. I know that Donna Angel had mentioned some interest in it. So me and Rolly were gonna meet with her and talk to her about it. Wanted to see if it was okay, Matt, like whenever we talk to her, um, to get her, you know what I mean, to say, hey, reach out to Matt, you know what I mean, and
Yeah. So we
talk
could
to
go
him.
down and just have lunch with her someday or something like that if we want to go
Yeah.
do that. And I think I don't remember when elections are, but those typically are in like a November kind of time frame that we could go through and put her name in. Because I think my term was going to be close to up anyway. For that. But yeah. No, let's work on that. I'm in Virginia this week and next week, but yeah, let's or maybe we do a breakfast ahead of the joint meeting in Berea or something like that.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna hit mute and I'm gonna give Ethan a call.
Okay.
Matt, what are you doing in Virginia?
Oh, my parents have a place here, and so I go when they can't go sometimes just to help take care of it, right? It's just south of Virginia Beach, so it's not hard labor by any stretch, right? But just kind of hanging out and mowing the lawn and just all that kind of stuff.
Is it like a rental place or getaway place?
They don't rent it. Yeah,
I'll
they
have
don't
Robin
rent it.
resend it. Okay. Okay.
But
Okay. Bye-bye.
my brother and sister, or my brother lives here, so they'd had a place kind of near them, and then my sister lives in Tennessee where they live. So just as they were, kind of trying to be nearer to kids growing up.
Robin, can you resend Ethan the link because he said his link's not working? Um, there we go.
Sorry about that, guys. I couldn't get my link to work.
All good. All good. Tried to give you as many action items as we could, but we'll sum those up in the for you later. But no, so we were just getting started, Ethan. I think we need to go through, and there's only 3 of us. So this is we get first was just to kind of talk about the minutes, or if there were any questions on the minutes. If I can get a nomination to approve.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes.
And I will second that
Thank
for you.
Thank you. And that is all in favor.
Yes.
Next, Colin, if you want to take us through the financial report, I think you're starting with July.
Yes, sir. So we do have the
So
July
we are in the
report.
new fiscal year, right?
Correct.
I guess is okay, great.
This
Thank you.
is month 1 of 12 in fiscal year 26. So at the end of July, our overall budget was 5% expended compared to 8% in the prior year. Our admin costs were at 9% compared to 5% in the prior year. Our adult expenditures were 7% expended compared to 12% in the prior year. Our dislocated worker program was at 3% compared to 6% in the prior year. And then our youth expenditures were 7% expended compared to 7% in the prior year. And then as far as our WIOA youth program funds that have to go to work experience, we had spent about $104,000 total on this current grant that expires. Keep in mind, this is funds from carrying over from last year as well. It expires on June 30th of 26. We're about 47% expended on that requirement as we stand right now. So, and then also, you can see at the bottom there where we stand with our current DSP invoices. The June invoice is completely paid to Equus. That was done on the 30th of July. And then our July Equus invoice, I can add to that information, which I can show you on there. We received the invoice, but yesterday we did get it submitted and approved by the state. So we'll see in the next few days whenever they're able to send the actual EFT to us. But yeah, we're on track with that one. Any questions about this page of the report?
Just, I mean, our forecast is generally pretty flat. I think you look month to month, but I know you don't have a forecast line on here. Is that, I mean, everything looks fine that you're trending in the normal way, and I think that for a lot of this stuff, it's almost impossible to look year on year and say, like the difference between July last year and this year. But you guys feel pretty good about cash and everything else with the drawdowns and what the state's allocating for you now. Yeah, great. All right.
Yeah, and that forecast line that's on there, that actually should say FY26. I do apologize for that omission. If you notice on the chart on the right-hand side,
Oh,
it
yeah,
should say
it's on it right
FY26
below.
forecast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that line is just a straight line up. That was just a general based off of our last several months of expenditures. It was just a general monthly allocation. It's like 300,000 or I think it was 280,000. What that generally comes out to, and that basically gets us up to the full budgeted amount on the year.
Hey, Matt, can I ask one question, Colin, real quick? Because it was, I think I reported on it yesterday at the Bluegrass Ad Executive Committee meeting. I think that there were some additional funds that we've received for putting Young Kentuckians to Work program for well, it says for FY26, but I think it hit July. How is that reported, Colin?
The putting Young Kentucky submit a report to the to Kentuckiana Works that basically quantifies all of the expenditures that we've made, a complete listing of it's similar to how our drawdowns go with the state, where we give them the lump sums that we're drawing from each pot, and then there's a separate page with the total listing of the expenditures, and so they just process that, and every quarter they'll drop that $140,000 into our account to put towards the program.
So it's very
And so-
similar to the state, but the source of funds, everything's flowing through Kentuckiana Works out of Louisville.
For that, correct. It
Okay.
comes straight from Kentuckiana. Mhm.
Yeah, and then but Jennifer and Equus, they're doing part of the work associated with that, and then there's some admin costs associated with it.
Yes, yeah, it's exclusively a pass-through situation with Equus. They send us an invoice every month, and so I guess technically, whenever this says that Equus was paid on this June invoice, that does include the Kentuckiana. That's a separate invoice from the WIOA invoice that they give to us.
Okay, thank you for providing that information. I just want to make sure that John and Matt, Ethan were aware of those source of funds from that
Mhm.
different grant.
Yes.
Thank you.
And so, if there's no further question on this part, I will proceed to the grant balances page to show you guys an update on where we stand. So the 5 grants, or rather 6 grants up there at the top, that's what we had remaining from FY25. You can see we got about $4 million remaining in dislocated worker funds, youth funds, and adult funds. And then we've also got that Quest grant at $140,000 remaining. That grant will not expire until 2026 in September. And we do, at the very bottom, you can notice there's 2 FY26 grants listed. There's the youth grant and the adult grant. So the PY adult grant, the 270AD26, which you'll see that name on the left-hand side at the very bottom. That grant was the first adult grant that we received. That is $20,000 more than the grant we received of that same type last year. And then the youth grant was about $123,000 more than we got last year. And then additionally, you can see at the bottom our current status, our non-WIOA youth funds, that is the Pretty Young Kentuckians. Our current balance that we have remaining is $786,680 and 36 cents. That's what's left on that. And additionally, we did receive we did submit the first report that they require us to submit a quarterly report to the Department of Labor for the BGCAP and Yokohama grant that we received for the NDWG grant, the $2 million that was submitted. That they require that for the first quarter. We didn't have any expenditures the first quarter ending June 30th. But that is in, and that total is $2 million. You can see that on the bottom there. Going forward, that grant will show a similar detail to what you see on the WIOA grants up there at the top. That will start showing that that format on that particular grant. We also received an NFA yesterday from Brenda Travis at the state. For the remainder of those storm funds that we received, we got $673,734 and 54 cents. So that's all in and available to us. And additionally, Brenda did tell me yesterday on the phone that the dislocated worker, the first round of dislocated worker funds is coming soon. She's just waiting on the commissioner to approve. So she's going to send that to us. I expect maybe first next week or something we'll see something, but she made a point to tell me that. So does anybody have questions about our current grant situation here?
Looking good to me. Matt, you're muted, buddy.
Talking away here.
There
Yeah,
you
no
go.
questions from me. Can I get any other questions from you guys, or can I get a motion to approve the finance report for July?
I would make a motion to approve the finances report.
And I will second that.
To go off video just for a second, see if you guys can hear me better.
I think we've lost him.
Yep, his screen is froze.
Looks like
And
he's
John, I
trying.
will share with you guys this fiscal year 26 budget that it says Michael on the front, but I'll be sharing that with you guys.
Okay.
Michael just had his baby, and so
Yeah.
he's in here technically today, but um,
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
apologies for that. Can I get a motion to approve the budget? Gotta love internet connectivity
I will make the motion to approve the finance report.
or
for
finance
July.
report. Yeah, thank you. Thank you
and
very
I will
much.
second that, Matt.
All right. Oh, the motion carries. And then you said Michael's out. He something about priorities about another baby. Can I?
yeah, yep,
All
they
right.
had another healthy baby, so
That's awesome. Please
Yep.
pass on our congratulations.
sure, we'll do.
So are we gonna table that, or do you want to take us through the budget?
I can take you through it. We've this is the same budget that we've shown before, except it's updated for the totals that Equus is operating with. It's the same overall total that Equus is operating with, but just the line items have changed, essentially. So I can take you guys through that. So you can see our operating costs up there at the top there. Nothing has changed from the last time that you've seen this. We're operating off of um, the admin, adult, dislocated worker, and youth allocations at FY26. Those totals are slightly elevated in actuality, but I don't have the full amount of dislocated worker um, that we are going to receive or adults, so I didn't update that information. We're just operating off of this general idea that we've got, $1 million in youth available, FY26, adult 729, and so on. Those are based off of the planning numbers that the state sent to us around April, and so we're still using those figures because we really don't have a better idea of what the actual is going to be on those. So our staff, we did increase a little bit in the operating side. It was 819,000. And you can see on the right-hand side how it compared to the FY25 budget. And so you can just, if you'll just follow along, we've got the FY25 budget on the far right-hand side. You can see where we were, and then the budget number just to the left of that is going to be what we're running on this year. And so the real change that's happened is all in the program delivery costs in the one-stop operator costs section compared to the last time we presented this budget. So we're keeping our career center costs the same at 320,000. Our indirect cost is a little bit higher, but mostly the same. And then we did put a little bit more for computer and equipment upgrades, because we do have added costs in that area. It seems like, well, whoops, let me pull that off. That in the computer equipment area, just buying extra. We did purchase some extra laptops. We did wind up getting well, we're still operating on the transfer VR, so we'll have to pay that again. And there's a few just things in there that necessitated an increase, about a $40,000 increase on that total. compared to last year. But Equus, they wound up getting about what was that, about $120,000 more than last year on there. They've got or really it's about the same because their one-stop operator costs, they did allocate more of their funds to the program delivery costs this time. But there's almost 1.9 million in program delivery costs, and you can see how they're breaking out their expenditures for this year in that section right there. If you guys look into that, do you have any questions specifically about program delivery or the operating budgets in there that you'd like me to address? Or
Well, I mean,
It might be
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if it's a question more for Colin or Tiff, but the increased direct service provider costs, is that where we're plugging in some of that new funds that we brought in from the grants and putting those in specific programs and plussing up those specific youth adult dislocated worker?
Yep.
That's what I thought. Okay, just want to clarify.
Yeah, that was the exact question I was going to have, Ethan. That I mean, if we've added in resources to cover the grant funds, then it really isn't much of a change because we're matching to the new opportunities that we have. So I mean that might be something easier to explain if we're taking this to the full board later, just to be able to call out that like staff is like one line, right? But if you could say staff to support the grants as that other line to show what that delta is, that might be easier for them to sort of understand that it's not like it just looks better, right? The optics of that are much better, just to say that we've got new opportunities, and so we're staffing to address those new opportunities.
yeah, so you're saying just our staff is a little bit increased, but not too much. But we do have so much more additional funding opportunities that we're working with right now. We've got the NDWG grant, we've got the Putting Young Kentuckians First grant, all that. This budget right here only shows, our program funds, that the formula funds from WIOA. So.
Okay, well then I thought that was what Ethan and I both asked, was that is this just formula funds, and I thought you said this does include the grants. So it does not include the grants.
This does not include those extra grants, no.
But as far as the staffing goes, there's been additional staff hired, right? Because what you have to stop and think about, so even with so the Bluegrass and the Yokohama, right? We have staffing that's been hired with those individuals, because that's technically WIOA money. With the Putting Young Kentuckians First, there's staff that's been hired for that as well. So yeah.
So diversification of program portfolio begets more budget expenditure against the WIOA money. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Got it. You need more case managers because you got more program money in more cases.
Correct.
Got it.
Yeah, I think that what Matt and Ethan and everyone's trying to get at is when we present this to the board, to let them understand why that number is increased and give them a good feel about it. Not to say there's a number increase.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Because that the staff line, of course, is the biggest line. I'm doing really rough maths here. It's like 15 to 20% increased, but just to be able to say that that's not. I mean, like I'd love to give like massive raises to everybody, right? But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about adding staff to serve more people. Let's just make sure you call that out.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is the case. So, perfect.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to hide anything, right? It's just that I think that you can message that right away, because that'll be the first thing that draws people's eyes if they're looking at it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, the only other one that was a big, work experience youth went down significantly, I guess, down below from 192 to 4950.
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to look for any big deltas, but Oh, this makes sense. Do you guys have any discussion on this or anything you want to talk through?
Well, you just said that it went down on the youth experience, work experience. I think the opposite's right. It went way up, right, for this
Yeah,
year.
we've got a much higher
Oh,
budget
sorry,
this year
sorry,
on
sorry,
that.
sorry.
Yeah, we're training a lot more youth this year. Mhm.
No, I'm a definite fan of that idea. Um,
No, I have no further discussion. I mean, it looks like we're accommodating through staff and through diversification of new grants and funding available for services. So it all looks good to me.
Right. Can I get a motion to approve?
I will make a motion to approve the FY26 budget.
And I will second.
Thank you, John. And that's everyone. So all in favor there, that carries.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all. Is there any other?
Well, just kind of elaborate on what our last conversation. Again, these things are very positive, but looking at numbers, is kind of a bland thing. When we're talking to the board next meeting, provide this information like the youth is going to be expanded, or the funds are for the staff is expanded because everything's expanding. Some positive spins on these numbers and why they've raised.
Okay.
Otherwise, people are just going to be lost in the numbers. Be a
Colin, and
positive
What-
provider there.
yeah, what I'll do, Colin, is I'll help prep you up a little bit because you are a numbers guy, not necessarily on the program side, and that's how it's supposed to be. So that you have a better understanding on it as well. So if questions are given to you, okay, so I'll get with you.
Absolutely, I'd appreciate it. Absolutely.
I also think I love the diversification of the funds, the type of funds that we're bringing in, because I know everybody's watching the news and we see how federal funding's working and fluctuating. And the fact that you guys are going after grant funds that still serve the purpose of the workforce department, I mean, I think that's a good narrative for the board is, as there's fluctuation and, they're looking at WEO right now and what it's going to look like in the future, we're not dead in the water if they decide to make big changes to WEO. We're doing a great job. We're bringing in funding and we're serving our clients. So kudos to the work, but it's a really good thing to point out to the full board.
All right. Can I get a motion to adjourn? There's no other discussion.
We'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, John.
I will second that.
Thank you. And thanks everyone. That motion passes, and yeah, I look forward to the